Hello YouTube, Mike Wogman here, Mushrooms Rangers. It's Monday, so Monday is the start of my week. I usually have off on Mondays, so this is when I do most of my mushroom stuff. Right now I'm making mushroom bags, mushroom blocks that I'm going to be using the stove method. So just stay tuned. Also, I'm timing myself on how long it takes to make 6 blocks. Well, that didn't go as planned. It'll be alright. So for the stove method, you're going to want to make sure that your bags are super clean, right? You're going to have to take a towel or washcloth or a wet paper towel and make sure all that dust is wiped clean from the inside of the bag, because you want a super good seal. Unlike pressure cooking, there's no sort of vacuum per se. Like when you're pressure cooking, it gets up to 15 psi, and then when you turn it off, the temperature and the pressure drop. So as the temperature and pressure drops, what happens is the bags are inflated. Excuse me. The bags are inflated. So as the pressure drops, all that air that's in there gets pushed out. So it vacuum seals it. I don't think that's going to happen with the stove method, because there's no pressure, but we'll see. So it's basically rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. Make sure you're adding that little bit of lime to bump up the pH level. Make sure it's as hot as tap water as you can get. And then it's just a matter of waiting. So I'm halfway through, and it's taken me 10 minutes, plus or minus, you know, the seconds or times it takes for me to talk to you guys. So I was planning on making 14 blocks. However, I ran out of soybean hulls and fuel pellets. I thought I had enough, but I only had enough to make 6. So, what can you do? Guess I'll be going out and getting some fuel pellets and some soybean hulls today, sometime this week, and finishing it up. I'm trying to get one continuous pour. That way, all the pellets get hydrated at once. So if it's a slow pour, most of the pellets will get most of the water. So I want to dump as much of the water in there as fast as I possibly can. That way, all the liquid is dumped at one time, like it would normally do if you had a machine. But again, this will make it easier if I had, 4 hands. So now comes the part where you just wipe down the inside of the bags. Take whatever you got. Again, I'm just using a wet paper towel. I don't want to make this video too long because once I get up around 15 minutes, my phone doesn't like that amount of data being stored. So I don't know why. It's just weird that way. I guess that's just the way it works. So that's what I'm going to be doing for the rest of these. Get ready for the stove method. So for the stove method, I got my stove already. Got my aluminum foil on the baking racks. I thought I was going to make 14, that's why there's 2 of them that are aluminum foiled. So, but I guess happenstance that I can only make 6. What can you do? So basically it took me plus or minus about 14 and a half minutes. So if I shaved about 6 minutes off because of me talking and fiddling around with stuff. So you could probably make, if you had 2 people, you could probably do 6 blocks in probably 5 minutes or less. And what I do is I dump all the solids first and then I dump the liquid. The reason why I do this is because if you switch back and forth from solid to liquid in your handy dandy jug, what happens is the pellets go in and then you put the water in it and then it's wet and then you add more pellets, and since there's residual water on the inside of the container, the pellets leave residue. So it's just best to do all the solids at once and then do the liquids. So sorry, got something in my chest, probably a frog or something. So since Mondays is my preparation day, I already got my oats soaking. Basically all I do is throw a scoop in, turn on the hot water, fill it up, let it sit overnight, drain it, let it sit overnight to drain. People ask me, why do you let it sit overnight? And that's because you want it completely dry, especially if you're doing if you're putting it in mason jars. If it's a little bit wet, that it has a tendency to clump. So when you are trying to break it up to inoculate it, it gets clumpy. So it's just best to make sure that it's completely 100% dry before you put it in mason jars. Now, if you're using the bags like that, go ahead and put it in there wet. It's easier to, it's more malleable in the bag than it is in a glass jar. So again, my tote method is, as you can see, still rocking it out. got some king oysters. This bag was the bag that I inoculated in that one video. So you can see there was no contamination, and it's producing king oysters. More blue oysters. Just waiting for that one. That one's popping. This is black king. That's another black king. So as you can see, on a small scale, it's easy to produce mushrooms. To sell, you would probably need like 4 or 5 totes or a Martha tent. So either way you want to go, whatever direction you want to go, just pick one, stick with it, research it, keep going forward, keep going forward, keep going forward. If you make mistakes or you have failures, shrug them failures off and just keep plugging on, and eventually you'll get success. And look very tediously at where you got the success versus where you got the failure, and that will be your success ratio. And then as you keep going and on and on, your success will overpower your failure, and you'll get to the point where you started growing 1 pound of mushrooms, and then the next week you double it, then the next week you double it, until a point where you are confident in your abilities to grow that amount of mushrooms in that week to satisfy your client. So to make money, you have to be successful first. It doesn't work the opposite way. You can't be successful and then make money. You have to make money in order to be successful. So it's all about your service goods in ratio to what people want. So money as a yardstick for your success. You have to be in service. You have to enrich others before others can enrich you. So just keep that in mind, whether you're going to be doing this for a hobby or doing this for profit. So you can only enrich others so that others can enrich you. It doesn't work. It doesn't work in reverse. That's the law. There's laws out there that cannot be broken. So again, just do your research, pick a starting point, and then go from there. And just continue to research, do. Pick a day, every day of the week, a time frame where you know that you're going to be free, and then you can put all your effort and all your mind into that time frame, and stick with that time frame every week. As success will come, you'll start growing mushrooms. Let your friends know, let your neighbors know, and eventually you'll get to where you're going. As long as you have goals and you work towards them goals, you'll achieve them. So I'm going to be out of here. I got to clean these bags up, throw them in the stove, go pick up some supplies, and do my mushroom stuff. So if you like this video, tell yourself, tell your friends, like, subscribe, comment below, and blessed be, and keep it fungi.